Oh, there's one more thing I should do before I take this hinge out, and this is a 6'8" tall door. It's a solid core door and it's heavy. So when I undo that hinge, you know what's going to happen? The door is going to want to naturally sag a little bit. You saw how I did it before, and I'm just going to have the door propped open this time. I'm going to go ahead and do it now. I got my nail puller and my putty knife. That way I don't gouge up the floor. So I can put that in there like that. Okay. And I got just enough force to keep the door from sagging. Okay, and that should work for when I undo these screws. Then I should be able to pop that hinge, fold that hinge over, and I won't have to monkey around. If I was here with someone else, obviously I would just have them kind of hang on to the door and lift the door back up when I was ready. Okay, lift it up a little bit. But hey, why pay someone when I've got my helper right there? You know what I mean? Okay, time to get busy. Oh, good grief. Yeah, I heard you. Hey, Joe, why don't you just show us this since you're right here? Okay, I will. Okay. See, there's a long one there because one of those screws probably got loose once upon a time, and I'll have to remember that it's that second one from the top. Okay. Now this could still be under pressure a little bit. It makes it easier because I've got that folded down, because I've got the spring-loaded deal off of there. That's fine. See? Easy greasy. How much harder do you want it anyways? Okay, so now I get it, I drill it up here and drill it into the stud. At just a slight angle, and that's for the mounting screws for the hinge at the bottom. As long as I'm slightly away from that, then I should be fine. Because the head, as long as the head doesn't encroach, my drywall screw, as long as it doesn't encroach into the hole, I'm good. Because all I need is just the long bit, because the head from the hinge is on the outside, right? Because I'm trying to get it down as low as possible. I don't want to put it up too high because then it kind of defeats the purpose of what I'm doing here. Of course, we got the dumpster guy out making this noise. And that's why I like to use the impact drill. Okay, so I can really suck it in there. I used to not have one of these. I used to have just that regular drill and go in there. There's only so far I can put it in there, and I can't drive it any further. But this one, I can impact it and drive it right on in, nice and easy. Easier, anyways. I got sunk in almost 1/8 of an inch. With the same pressure force, I didn't have to. You gotta get one of these impact drills if you don't have one yet. It's only so tight I can go to where it hits the shims that are in there, or the 2x4 or whatever, right? Okay, so now I can get ready, and this is probably really close to where it needs to be because I've got that on there. If anything, I think I need to push it that way. So I've got it. I may have to lower that just a hair, if I don't, see, I could put the long screw in and hope that it pushes it over, but it could kind of tear off the edge of the wood, let's say. All right, I'll have to lessen this. I'm gonna lessen this a little. Let's see, lessen it, yeah, because I want that to tilt. Sometimes if you still need more room, if there's a little bit of the hinge location still showing, just lift up on this and kind of pooch it in a little bit more. But in this case, I gotta go the other way and not have hardly any force on it at all. I think that's probably as close as I'm gonna get it. And I should be able to get this where I need it. You know, could I put all the screws back in and have the hinge be in a slightly different place where you see a gap? Yeah. If you're not careful, you could. Okay. There we go. That looks mighty fine. And I think for the sake of argument, I'm just going to put a short one in. I'm not going to tighten it all the way. This one I can use my impact to go all the way because it's that long one. Last thing I want to do is twist that head off because it's possible, especially with this impact. Okay, I'm going to tighten those two first before I do this last one. Make sure these are tight by hand because that hole is just slightly off. And so if I do this one last, it will still push over. And because I've tightened the hinge already, even though the starting hole is slightly off from before. See, if I would have done this screw very first, I wouldn't have had this all nice and tight. So you want to try to get the screw hole that, you know, once you tighten it, it's kind of forcing the hinge over. And then any hole that's slightly off, you do that last and it'll slide over into place. Okay, all right. Well, since I got you right here, no monkey business. Let's check this door out. I've got to get this out of here. Should kind of slide right out of there, nice and easy. Just still be careful. You don't want to. Last thing you want to do is have an accident, a boo-boo, and have to explain yourself to someone on why there's a nice little gouge on your nice floor. Okay. Okay, so you remember what the gap was before? If you were, hopefully you've been watching this entire video. We're gonna close this and look at that. Look at that gap. See, it's bigger now, isn't it? And see how it is there? Okay, when you look over here, this is a lot closer than it was before, wasn't it? There's still plenty for movement and stuff. Even if that was tight, that's never gonna rub your paint off or anything because you got the back hitting the back of your door jamb. Sometimes that happens, but generally not so. And if this door was closed all the way, see, later on I'm gonna have to adjust this to get this closed up tight to the weather stripping. And see, got a nice gap up there now. It's raised this up. It's pulled this away, raised this part up because you got a box and you tilt it up and that whole side gets tighter here and further away from there. That looks fine. I'm liking that. Okay, so now I fixed that door. I actually had to suck that over all the way And on this door, I took the whole door and moved it over. It wasn't necessarily sagging, it was slightly, but I still needed to move it over, didn't I? And I did it. I did the same thing as sometimes when it's just sagging a little bit, maybe sometimes I only have to do the top hinge. But you have to look at each door. And if you have to do more than one hinge, do it. You know? And you'll get the results that you want or something better than it was before. Okay, so now I'm done downstairs. Man, I worked on 4 different doors. I did all kinds of work on this door. I did all kinds of work on that door to make it look better, and so it didn't look like it was sagging, so it didn't look like the door was warped. I fixed this door, moved that over. This door was sagging, I fixed that. This door, that's the 4 doors. This door I didn't have to do anything with. It's all lined up okay, and later on after I paint the doors, I'm taking the doors down and taking the hinges off and everything. When I get ready to put the new hinges on, I'll then angle the hinges out. And I'll make a different video of that. That way this gap will be less, okay? See how big this gap is? Look, the door's closed. You think the door's closed. Kaboom. I don't want that when I get all done. No sense fixing it now because I have to do different things behind that hinge, and I'm going to be taking those hinges off and be working with brand new different colored hinges. Okay, so hey, see, I mean, it took me a while. Hey, anything worthwhile is going to take a little bit of effort. Okay, it's not going to fix itself. All right, and it's about 1 o'clock now. I probably started 9:30 or so, but I've been making videos this whole time. If I didn't use the video camera at all, maybe 3.5 hours or so, and I got this all done. Now I've got more doors to do up there.